Ah, is this sweet? I can't tell.
Oh! Anthrax with For All Kings.
Nice.
Excuse me.
It's okay, I've done worse.
Very professional.
I've done worse.
This is their 11th studio album. I'm just gonna say 7th. I don't care about John Bush era. It's their first since Worship Music, 2011. Crazy to think that that's been 5 years.
I know, it's
Like, fuck.
we've seen them 4 times since then. So
Yeah.
that probably helps a little bit, but
Yeah. So, we've been very much looking forward to this album, and it's here, and it jams. I just noticed that these motherfuckers are all the band members.
oh, would you look at that?
Totally been out there. I just
Would you look at
the
that?
Wow. All right. Anyways, yeah, Joey Belladonna, vocalist. Their new guitar player is Jonathan Denias. Hope I said that right. From Shadows Fall. Not Jonathan Davis. We were talking earlier, and I said Jonathan Davis. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it'd be a completely different band if he was in the band.
Yeah.
But
So what do you think of the album?
I really like this album. And this is blasphemy, and I'm sorry for admitting to this, but I was after a little bit, maybe a month after they put out Evil Twin, I was honestly maybe just a tad bit worried about this album. And it's not that Evil Twin's a bad song. And I'll get this out of the way quick because I don't want to spend the whole thing talking about that song. But that song is Anthrax, and that's a good song, but it doesn't have, at least in my opinion, that spark that Anthrax has, that energy. It almost seems like, at least with that song, they're going through the motions like, this is the kind of song we write. So let's write this kind of song. In some ways. And so, it's not my favorite song. It's, like I said, it's good. But the good thing about that is that is like a middle-of-the-pack song on this album. That, there are... some truly, I'd say, better songs in this album. The title track, for instance, is easily the best song on this album. And I'll just rattle off a couple other songs that I really liked, which is Breathing Lightning is another one. You Gotta Believe. And All of Them Thieves. Yeah. Those are the songs that I truly were yes, these are... great Anthrax songs. And this is this is Anthrax doing what they do, which is writing great chuggy riffs and thrash metal with what's the guy's name? Jonathan.
Yeah. Jonathan
Denias. With him, you can tell where his influence is on this album. There's Scottian riffs, which is the main riff of All of Them Thieves, and the main riff of For All Kings, these very chuggy, crunchy riffs that are just really cool. And again, it goes with the mental image of you can just see Scottian stomping around on stage while playing these riffs, and then you get riffs I'd say the opening riff of or the thing in Zero Tolerance is, I'd say, maybe a little bit more of a Jonathan Denias thing, is it the chorus of Breathing Lightning that's really weird? I think it is. Yeah,
no, that's Suzerain.
Suzerain. Suzerain. Yeah, Suzerain, however you pronounce it. That, and you get stuff like that, or the chorus to For All Kings, which are they're not so different that it's whoa, this is weird, but it's kind of new for Anthrax, which is good because, again, one of the things listening to Evil Twin that I thought listening to that I was like, again, this sounds like stuff that I've heard before. Like nothing, in my opinion, stood out too good about that song, and still, like I said, it's still a pretty good song. And this album, again, it sticks to what you like by Anthrax, and it's very much Anthrax, but it has the new stuff, and they even try some new things. You gotta believe has a weird middle part, and I mean, I don't really know what to think about that, but I mean, it's different. I'm glad that they're trying things. I mean, this is definitely. I like this album definitely a bit better than Worship Music, and I love Worship Music. Worship Music, I think, is a great album, but it's not maybe necessarily the best thrash metal album. It's definitely a great metal album, but it's definitely not like the thrashiest. I mean, look at songs like "The Devil You Know" and "I'm Alive." They're not thrashy songs per se, yeah. But this, I mean, all the songs in this album are thrashy songs, and they, I can see Anthrax maybe not writing things exactly like this, but writing things like this back, in the 80s and the early 90s. Like, I can see that, and that's good. But then, yeah, and everything sounds great. The drums, Charlie Benante is one of my favorite drummers in metal, just because, not that he's the most, wow, that's an amazing drum, beat or fill that he's putting in, but it always fits perfectly. Like, his drums always work, and like I said, they're not the most complex thing, but it, I'm like, yep, okay. There's never a part where I'm like, the drums are just weird. I never thought that throughout this album. And Joey Belladonna sounds great on this album. I mean, he still sounds like he hasn't lost his touch in the studio. It still sounds awesome, and the vocal patterns and a lot of the songs are great. Like the chorus to "For All Kings" is incredible. Again, the chorus, I like the chorus to "All of Them Thieves" as well. Like, like I said, he has not lost his step, in my opinion, at all. Like, this band is still good. I mean, again, 11 albums in, almost, over 30 years being around, almost 35 years being around. Like, this band is still writing very great music, and this is just a fun album to listen to.
Yeah. I think the title track alone is better than anything that they did on Worship Music, honestly. I think this album is way better than Worship Music. It's just... Worship Music has a couple songs to me, and then it just completely loses me anymore a lot of times. And it's just something about it, It's just, when I think, well, even still with this album, when you think Anthrax, what do you think? You think Among the Living, you think Spreading the Disease, those albums, Persistence of Time, like, those albums completely slay, and they're just some of the most incredible thrash music you will ever hear. And even, on the past two albums, they've kind of... This album's a lot thrashier than Worship Music, but, it's not every song is just fucking super meaty riffs and thrash like it was back in the day. They're trying new things, and that's why I really like this album. It's exciting. Yeah, there's some new and interesting things on here, and I'm glad that Anthrax is spreading out a little bit, because they definitely need to, because they're not going to be able to go back and recreate something like Among the Living, in my opinion, but what they have going here is really solid. I mean, You Gotta Believe is an example of right off the bat, it's like, hey, we're doing some new stuff. That song's a pretty lengthy song, and there, that middle section is definitely not something you think of from Anthrax. Suzerain is that chorus is a little bit kind of more melodic. It's not something that you would think of with Anthrax, and honestly, I wouldn't even think the title track sounds like fucking Anthrax. At least that chorus, that's as close as Anthrax is ever going to get to being a power metal band. But hey, if they went full out power metal,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I know a
Nope.
lot of people would be pissed off, but I wouldn't be opposed.
Nope.
Uh,
They're already corny enough at times.
yeah, but there are some seriously crunchy fucking riffs, and more standout riffs on here than I think a lot of worship music. You know, I can't tell you how a lot of the riffs go in worship music besides "Fight 'Em Till You Can't Fight No More." What's that song called? Fight 'Em Till
Fight 'em
the
till you
end?
can't.
Really?
That's what it's called. Fight 'em till
Okay.
you can't.
Yeah. It's just like, you know, that riff gets stuck in my head a lot, but it's just like there are so many good riffs on here, you know. For All Kings, just fucking jams. Like that track is just a fucking rager, dude. You Gotta Believe opens up and just kicks ass. All of Them Thieves, the chorus is so beefy. This Battle Chose Us is another really standout one. Breathing Lightning, another really good one. It's like, fuck, it's just every song just feels really, really solid for the most part. I will say that I feel the beginning is a little bit better than the ending to this album. In terms of quality of the songs, I just feel a little bit better, but not saying the end is bad. Joey Belladonna, I think, sounds pretty good. One thing I notice is that Anthrax has been doing a lot more like kind of backing vocals, or, you know, a little bit harmonized vocals, which isn't bad. It just definitely sounds a little bit different because you used to just, you know, straight up just Joey Belladonna. But I mean, he's a good singer, man. I mean, he's not like Tom Araya and just fucking screaming into the mic. He's not like Dave Mustaine, who's like, dystopia, you know, and then James Hetfield just, you know,
He just does.
yeah, he's just not as good as he used to be, in my opinion. Well, that's a fucking fact. I'm sorry, but Joey Belladonna still sounds good, really good. And he sings, and that's one thing that always stood out about Anthrax. Is like, here they're probably one of the thrashiest bands out there. Someone could argue that in the 80s they were the thrashiest band of the big four, and then they have these really badass just singed vocals. Not that Metallica didn't do anything like that. Megadeth stuff in the 80s, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much you would say that's singing, you know, a singing. I can't sing. I'm not going to sound like an idiot, but you got to know what I mean. And we all know Slayer doesn't. But, I mean, I just feel Joey Belladonna still does really sound good, and that's awesome. I feel this album has an incredible production. Jonathan brings an incredible, you know, different dimension to this band that you can kind of tell, like Keith was saying, his influence there. You know, Shadows Fall, they are, you know, kind of a thrashy band at times, but they write a variety of stuff, and that variety is now being brought to Anthrax, and that's really cool. And then Charlie Benante just kills. I mean, I think the standout moment for him is the main riff that opens up For All Kings. Like, if that riff was any different, I feel like that riff would not feel as good, that song would not hit as hard, and, like, he just nailed it with the perfect fucking beat right there. Not that the rest of the songs aren't any good from him, but fuck. Just listen to the title track, dude. So good.
Just put it on Spotify. Oh, wait, crap. But when it's on, just hit repeat and just listen to that song.
Why it's not on Spotify, or it's there but you can't listen to it?
Well, you can listen to Evil Twin.
I don't understand. Look, I understand that bands don't make money from me purchasing this a lot of times. They make their money on tour. I understand that they want you to purchase the album, you know, either digitally download it or buy it physically. But Billboard changed how album sales are counted, you know. If you have a certain amount of streams, that's an album sale. So to me, they're losing album sales by not having that thing on Spotify.
Actually, technically,
or maybe there's some fuck up on Spotify's part.
Maybe.
which could be it. But you know, it's just strange to me.
Yeah. I mean, something that I learned because I took a class at it is like technically bands would want you to buy digital more because they make more money off digital album sales than they do physical.
That's true. I mean, this has to be an expensive package.
Oh yeah,
because
also it looks nice. It
looks nice.
Really nice.
It's fucking shiny. It feels nice, like fish. You know. Buy it digitally, save money. You're just downloading some fucking code. Anthrax with their new album or Megadeth with their new album?
Oh, boy.
You have to pick one, and you have to destroy the other, and it doesn't exist anymore.
Fuck.
I'd probably have to go with keeping Anthrax around, just personally. Yeah, I'll keep Anthrax.
The band still exists. I'm talking their albums.
Oh yeah, like the most recent
Dystopia
album.
versus For All Kings.
I'd still probably keep this album over Dystopia. Okay, I'd do with that.
Yeah. It's a hard pick.
It is. That's why I sat there and I couldn't think about it for a little bit. It's hard. I mean, damn. Now, here's an even tougher question: title track versus title track.
I'm gonna have to go Dystopia on that.
I was like, I might have to go with, like, I think. All right, so here's how I'll make my distinction on that first question. I think when Megadeth's when Dystopia hits hard, it hits harder than this album. But this album hits at a consistent strength a lot more than Dystopia does.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Last question.
Okay.
You have to marry one, kill one, and fuck one.
Alright, here we go.
For All Kings, Dystopia for Megadeth, or Repentless by Slayer. We'll go to the most recent albums from the Big Four. Death Magnetic is so fucking old now.
Alright. Yeah, fuck one, marry one, kill one. Alright. Shit. I mean, I'd kill Repentless just because.
Yeah, me too. That's a pretty easy decision.
I'd marry this album and I'd fuck Dystopia. I'd say.
Yeah. God. Yep.
Maybe also my personal opinions of the people in the bands coming through that. Like, if you ask me the bands, I'd probably go through the same thing. But
so you're gonna fuck Dave Mustaine?
Just because then it's one and done. I'm not putting up with him for forever. I ain't
there you go.
Putting up with him for the rest of my life. Fuck that shit.
Which one would you fuck, marry, and kill if you've watched to this point? What do you think of it? What would you give this?
I give this album I give it 8.75 out of 10.
Oh yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. It's good.
It is.
Listen to it. Bye.